Hey everyone, I hope that you're all having an amazing day whenever you watch this, wherever you are, at any stage and phase of your own health and healing journey. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Rogers, and today I'm just doing a little impromptu live, and I'd like to talk with you all about something that I discussed very briefly yesterday, which was another phase of my own healing journey that I went through earlier on this week. And, I thought it'd be nice for me to come on here and just share with you all a little bit about my own healing journey. Because one thing I want you to know all about me is that not only am I a purpose-driven person, and it is my purpose in this lifetime to lead and guide others to heal themselves, but I've also been there too. So I thought it'd be nice to share with you a little bit about what's gone on in my own healing journey and what happened earlier on this week, just so that you can see as a perfect example using my own lived experience that healing really truly is a lifelong journey that never ever ends. And that's certainly not meant to scare anyone. But the truth is, we all came onto this planet Earth for a reason. One of the reasons is to fulfill our own purpose, whatever that may be, unique and special to us and our souls. But we also came here to learn and to constantly heal and grow. So I can tell you that even when I got on the other side of my chronic physical, mental, and emotional health issues, which I'll certainly share candidly with you today, once you get to that side, another level and layer of healing reveals itself. So I'm going to share with you what I went through earlier on this week, and I guided myself through a past life regression healing to heal some things that I hadn't yet realized were serving as a barrier in my own life for my own health and happiness. But where my story really starts is almost 15 years ago, it will be in September. I was on the receiving end of a life-threatening surgery because although I just had kidney stones and it should have been a routine procedure, the surgeon who was supposed to remove my kidney stones did not, and unfortunately he poked a bunch of holes inside of me and left me bleeding internally in the hospital, and I was never made aware of it. So as a result, several days later in the hospital, I was still not recovering, and no one could understand why. Several days later than that, I came within hours of my own death. I went into septic shock and said goodbye to all of my loved ones and was told that it would be against the odds if I was able to survive that surgery. So I went into that surgery fully believing that I would never come out. However, I did have a very divine intervention experience, which I'll share with you on another time in another story. And against all of the odds, I survived. And that experience changed me and the trajectory of my life forever, because I've always known since I was a little girl that I came into this lifetime to help others heal, and that that's what I'm here to do, and it's what I'm so passionate about. But it was at that point when I survived that surgery that I realized that I was kept here for one reason and one reason only, and it was to fulfill my purpose. After that, I spent a year going in and out of surgeries to save my own life and repair the permanent damage that had been done to me and my body. Unfortunately, I was left with serious complications as a result that I have and will deal with for the rest of my life. However, none of those complications serve as a barrier in any way, shape, or form to me at this time. But after those life-saving surgeries, that was just the beginning of my journey. After that, I spent years accumulating many physical, mental, and emotional chronic health issues as a result of all of that severe trauma that had occurred to me in the hospital. So I acquired PTSD. I mean, no surprise, right? Anxiety and depression, some really serious and detrimental mental and emotional health issues that I battled for many, many years. And I also acquired all kinds of physical chronic health issues, acne, migraines, serious hormonal imbalances, and pretty much every digestive discomfort you could possibly imagine, from chronic bloating to chronic constipation. I was diagnosed with IBS. I was put on and taken off of many, many different medications and saw a lot of different specialists, but I can tell you now that I don't take any medications. I don't have any of those diagnoses because I chose not to accept them. I chose not to take the path of management for my health. I chose to walk away and guide myself on my own path to truly heal by identifying the root causes of my health issues. Now, at the time, I believed those root causes to be very physical in nature, right? Pathogens like viruses and bacteria, toxins like heavy metals. And I was correct about those things. So I did get through this first stage and phase of my healing by applying a lot of physical healing modalities, by using the proper nutrition, the proper healing foods and supplements to target those underlying root causes. I got myself quite a bit of the way there. And to those of you who are familiar with Anthony William, the medical medium, I still use and pull all of that into my current practice to work with my clients, because that served at that time in my life many years ago as the very foundation of my physical healing journey. And so as a research scientist and epidemiologist with expertise in healthy aging and chronic illness, one of the things I know to be true, because I am literally expertly trained to study the cause and effect of illness, to identify the root causes, what I know is that science and research has a long way to go. And one of the many reasons that I walked away from my traditional career. My goal also through the work I do now with my amazing clients and all of you is for us to help show the world, and especially mainstream research and science, that we can do better, that there are underlying pathogenic and toxin root causes to illness that we just not at a global level have properly identified yet, and that there are effective ways and natural ways. In fact, that's the only way, is the natural way to truly, truly heal these things. But at that stage and phase in my journey, I had gotten really far. I'd freed myself from prescription medications, and I still was experiencing some symptoms though, because as you all know, the healing journey is 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. And as you know, it ebbs and flows, right? I see some of you responding, so it's not this journey that once you start healing, it's woo, and you just get to coast and cruise into infinity on this nice little trajectory of never-ending happiness into healing, right? It goes like this, and sometimes around and around, and it feels awful, and it can be a very scary place, And so I had hit a wall in my journey at a certain point in time, and what I recognized at that point, and I don't mind sharing with you all very openly, is that I was in an emotionally abusive relationship with a past boyfriend. It was very, very damaging to me and my mental and emotional health. And as we all know, and as I'll continue to teach you all, there are 8 different categories of root causes of illness. And in fact, only one of those categories is physical in nature. So that's where our toxins, pathogens would be, is falling into that category. At this stage and phase in my journey, I hadn't yet been educated, and this was many years ago, to the fact that there are all these other root cause categories, right? Another one of them being emotions. Another one of them being the people around us, the people in our lives. So at that point, I very clearly recognized that I had, been in this relationship that was absolutely serving as a barrier. I don't mind sharing with you all that I am basically the queen of the island of misfit toys, because I had gone through that stage of phase of my life. At that point, I was in my 20s, and I had not had very many good and true friends. In fact, when I was in the hospital dying, the people I thought were my friends were outside of the hospital spreading rumors about me and telling people I wasn't really sick, that I was just making it up. And this rumor mill continued for quite some time. And so, on top of not having true and good friends that supported me, fortunately, my family did support me, but I did not have the closest relationship to me. My intimate relationship was abusive and very damaging. I recognized at that point that this was my barrier. And so at that point, another stage and phase of my healing journey began, and that was around my social health. I had to walk away from that relationship. I had to walk away from all the people that I knew were only helping to perpetuate the chronic health issues that I was experiencing. Because see, our bodies and our organs are innately intelligent beings, just like you and I. And they absorb the energy of everything around us, and they hear everything around us. So that includes the messages coming to us from friends, family, loved ones, other doctors and practitioners, and they absorb that energy because, see, my friends, everything starts as energy first. Even your physical health symptoms, they had to exist in an energetic state first, right? Because as Einstein has taught us and science has taught us, everything exists in an energetic state first. So we'll continue to talk together over time about that energetic side of healing. One of the things I'm an expert at is I really stand at the intersection of science and spiritualism and believe that true healing is a union of those two things. But so then I went on my journey and I healed myself socially. And so then for a while I cruised again and it was great. And I did fantastic. Then I moved because I had moved out of that house where I was living in an abusive relationship. And then I moved out on my own. And I'd finished my doctorate at this point and was living in a house and doing, again, all the right things, right? Eating all the right foods, taking good care of myself. I had pushed away the unhealthy social relationships from my life. But once again, something wasn't quite right. And I was starting to not feel well again. Symptoms were starting to resurface. And I took a look around me and I realized that once again, something was off. Now I went to see again several different doctors, including a naturopath and a holistic health practitioner about this with their assistance. And at this point, this is where another stage and phase of my education and training began. I discovered that I was living in an unhealthy and toxic environment in which I was being exposed to mold and natural gas, carbon monoxide, and many other harmful poisons. Now, in addition, I live in the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America, not an area that has the greatest air quality. So that was playing an impact and role too. So the combo of the unhealthy indoor and outdoor environment was once now, again, showing me a new level and layer to heal, and that was my environmental health. At that point in my healing journey, I really dug deep and looked not just at my environment as in what home am I living in, but I started taking a look at the products I used, not just my cleaning products, but the products that I used to put on my body, makeup, anything like that, self-care products. And I really did a complete and total overhaul on my environmental health. And then once again, I got to cruise at high altitude for a while. And then came the stage and phase where I finally reached the spiritual and energetic part of healing. And this is now one of my passions and areas of expertise that I'm so honored and thrilled to be able to talk with you all about, empower you around, and educate you about, and support you on by facilitating these types of healings for you. But what happened then was that first I trained as a medical intuitive. My training as a medical intuitive with Tina Zion, in case you're all wondering, I always think it's important to be very open about who we train with, especially when we say we do spiritual and energetic work. And in fact, I meet with Tina regularly, and we just met 2 days ago, and I'm going to share that story with you today. But in doing my medical intuitive training is when I really learned all the different levels and layers and dimensions that there are to our health and well-being and our ability to heal. Things that are energetic, that to some people you might say are beyond human explanation, that play a role and impact your health and ability to heal each and every single day. While I was training as a medical intuitive, once I completed my first round of training, I had at that time gone under quite a few surgeries for my left wrist. Now, when my left wrist started to bother me and what led me to my first surgery was actually at the time a mystery. I never fell, I never had an injury. I'm also a yoga instructor, so I'd been teaching regularly, taking good care of myself. I'm even right-handed. So the fact that I was having issues with my left wrist was really confusing and puzzling to me. Yet after I had my first surgery on my wrist, a few months later, I was heading toward a second, and things just didn't seem to add up. With the help of my instructor, Tina, we discovered that there was actually a spiritual cause to the reason that my wrist had started to have problems in the first place. there was a very negative energy that needed to be removed from my energetic field that was initiating those problems and helping to perpetuate them so that I could not necessarily heal and get onto the other side of them. So with Tina's help, we facilitated a healing that set me free from those things, and that was the first experience I'd ever had like that. That was a game changer for me because I realized then in that moment that, my friends, we can do all we can to identify and target the physical root causes of our health issues like toxins and pathogens, viruses and bacteria. But that's just not all there is to it. It's just not that simple. I'd been searching for a practitioner that understood, that I felt like got it, but no one really seemed to. So at this point is when I really completely finished evolving and developing my intuitive holistic approach, because what I believe in is not just identifying and addressing the physical root causes of your health issues, because we can eat all the healing foods and we can cleanse as many times as we want into infinity. But if we don't acknowledge and address those energetic and emotional and other causes of illness and health issues, then we'll just be, those barriers will just continue to exist. And that's just simply all there is to it. And I am truly living proof, and so are my clients. And next week, I'm going to share with you a video. One of my clients was sweet enough to offer to do an interview with me where you'll get to hear us talk about one of the healings that we guided her through, actually several of them, and the positive impact that it has had on her health and wellness since then. Because I want you to have as many examples as you can, so I can help you to see that there's so much more to healing, but that there are people here like me that will guide you and walk this path with you in a safe and trusted, sacred, healing environment so that you can get onto the other side of your health issues just like I did. So let me take you back to earlier this week, because I have continued to find other areas that needed to be healed in my life. I was talking with Tina earlier this week, and we were working through, I have regular mentorship sessions so that I continuously evolve as a medical intuitive for all of you, because my belief is that there's no such thing as a training where you go and you're one and done, right? I need somebody working with me who is an expert and more advanced than I am so that I can continue to evolve, understand my strengths and weaknesses, and utilize my skills in a better way, in a stronger way, be more powerful for you. I'm always thinking about how I can support you all better, how I can guide you all better, how I can help you heal, how I can empower you more. And the more that I grow and evolve, the more that I can help you do that. Because one thing I do believe as a leader is that you can only guide somebody to go as far as you've gone yourself. So I know that it's my responsibility to continue to guide myself as far as I possibly can each and every day. And I see some comments saying that you're so strong, but I have to tell you, so are you. I am, and I see Honey Love you saying, you feel so many things in your body. Let me know here in the chat if you'd like to share what some of those are. I'd be happy to give some support, tap into my medical intuitive guides as I'm sharing my story with all of you today. But earlier this week, I was talking with Tina, and we were just working through some areas of growth in my medical intuitive skills. And she happened to say to me, Elizabeth, there seems to be this issue with you where you don't feel deserving. And she really nailed it right there. I can tell you all, and don't mind sharing, that throughout this entire lifetime, ever since I was a little girl, I've always been afraid to open gifts. I feel guilty for opening them. So for example, if a friend were to send me a gift here to my home, I would put it aside, and I might even wait a few weeks or longer to open the gift until a day when I feel like I've done something really good for somebody else. But that's silly, right? Because we all deserve the best. You do, I do, we all do. We all deserve the best, and we all deserve everything we desire and more, because our desires are aligned with our spiritual purpose. And a desire is actually also the universe's way of saying, hey, I want this for you too. That's why we feel it. And Tina and I discussed it, and we went back through this lifetime, and I started to bring up the emotions, my memories, my experiences around not feeling deserving in my life. And Tina said to me, typically when she and I recognize and identify something like this, just like I do for my beautiful clients, she will facilitate guiding me through a healing. But this time she said to me, Elizabeth, I was going to facilitate this healing and guide you through it, but today I'm being guided to guide you to facilitate this healing for yourself. Now, I've never done that before. So I sat back, and of course I was a little anxious and nervous, but I knew that she would not have guided me to guide myself if I could not do it. So at that point, I decided to go and do a healing, just the same sort of healing that I would guide my clients through. So I went, and I have what's called a crystal healing bed. I'll take some pictures and show you all so that you can get to know more about me and what I do and see some of the neat stuff that I work with in my office. But I felt guided by my divine support to do this healing on my crystal healing bed. So that is where I went. And then with the support of one of my divine and sacred source guides, I closed my eyes and I went into a meditation. Now, in this meditation, I did not know necessarily where I would be taken, but where I was taken, my friends, was very quickly into a past life. A past life where I actually found myself as a little girl. We have many past lives, as I'm sure some of you know, and we may have been different genders, different races, different ethnicities in different countries, of different cultures, and knowing the evolution of human history, of course, that would be the case. But in this particular scenario, I went back and found myself as a little girl in a past life, not my most recent past life, but several lifetimes ago. And I have to tell you all, I immediately was overwhelmed because this little girl had been being very abused, at least emotionally, by her mother. And she was in her bedroom, curled up in a ball, and just devastated. And when I arrived there, I was so overwhelmed by the emotion that it brought all of those past life memories flooding back into me. And I laid on that crystal healing bed and I cried for quite some time because of the overwhelm of that emotion. Once I overcame that emotion with the support of my guide, I went to my past life younger self, and the two of us together went through what's called a soul retrieval. Because you see, my friends, as we go through traumas both in this lifetime and in prior lifetimes, sometimes we leave behind pieces of our soul. And sometimes we need to go back, and if and when that happens, we actually do need to go back in time and retrieve and call back to us those parts of our souls and reclaim them. So the more whole we become in this lifetime, the healthier we will be. So I went into this past life and I closed my eyes, and with the support of my divine and sacred guide, my past life younger self and I retrieved my soul. We removed all of that we gave back to the wrongdoer, who was my mother in that lifetime, all of the things that she had done to us, all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the abuse. We gave it all back. And then, with the support of healing divine and sacred guides there to protect us, we took back everything that had been taken from us, our confidence, our feelings of worthiness, of deserving, and we took it all back, our energy, our power, our beauty, our strength. Because see, my friends, sometimes as we go through healing in life, and as we in this lifetime experience health issues that we can't seem to overcome, that we know and we feel deep in our gut, that's your intuition talking to you, that we know in our gut that there's something emotional there, but we just can't quite put our finger on it. It tends to be the case that it's something like this that needs to be healed. And what happens then is that we completed this healing, my past life younger self and I. And then she and I together reclaimed everything that we had lost, And then we were able to leave that memory and that trauma behind. And then I was able to come back into this body on the crystal healing bed in this present moment, in this 3-dimensional lifetime. And I have to tell you, when I opened my eyes 2 days ago and I went and I looked in the mirror, I saw a completely different woman, a completely different Dr. Elizabeth Rogers. And I see a comment here. I can't get past the feeling that no one ever remembers me. I do a lot for others out of love. I've always been a caregiver. I feel love from others, but I won't expect them to for long. Oh, my friend. Thank you for sharing that vulnerable comment here with me. Please know this is always a safe, sacred space for you to share open and honestly. Can I tell you that I used to feel the same way. I used to feel the same way. I traveled through this lifetime looking, searching for where I belonged with whom. I went through so many years of friends and I never belonged. I never belonged. And I want you to know that you are not alone. And as I tap in with my as I tap in with my guides for you, I am absolutely picking up that there is some past life stuff going on here for you. And I sense very far into the past, but I'm sure that you do everything out of love, because I can feel that as I connect in with you and your energy. And I have to tell you, there's just so much there. And you, that you've always been a caregiver, that's one of your divine and sacred gifts that you came into this lifetime with. And it's giving me chills just to connect in with you. And can I tell you, thank you for all that you do to be a benevolent, loving caregiver for others. It's so needed in this world. We need you. We need your gifts. So thank you for sharing them. You know, I have to tell you that as a healer and caregiver myself, I've often felt the experience you're describing, that that you feel love from others, but you don't expect them to for too long. I used to have that happen to me too, where I went through, and I have a feeling, love, that you are the same. My guides, I'm actually picking up on, and I'm just going to stay connected with you a moment before I jump back into my story. My guides are picking up on that you have this same kind of issue that I've had myself, where I would go with all my heart into every situation, right? With every person, whether it was a friend, a family member, a loved one, a work situation where I was caregiving for others, and I would give all of myself. And I know, because I'm connected with you right now, that you absolutely do the same thing, don't you? You give your whole heart and soul every time you work with anybody, whether it's from, yeah, I know you do. I'm just going to stay with you, if you don't mind, and keep, just do a little mini reading here with you. I just want you to know I feel your heart. I know how hard it is, because I've had that experience of giving my heart to everything and everyone. And for a while, like you said, I'd feel the love in return. But then for some reason, tell me if you share this experience, because I'm picking up that you do. For some reason, there would come a time that they would take their love away again. And it was never because I wasn't being genuine. In fact, let me tell you, love, that you are a very special being, a special spirit that came into this world. I have to tell you that people like you that came here, and you're made of pure love. Your guides, the sacred guides around you, I want you to tell you, I have a lot of them, because I can feel them around you now. They are made of love too. And you work with very pure love and source energy. And I have to tell you, it's a rare gift that you have. But because of that, the love that you hold and that you give is very, very powerful and strong. And I've had this experience in my lifetime, so I want you to know, I know how much it hurts to have that love shoved back in your face from others. It hurts a lot, doesn't it? I know that feeling. I've lived it many times over in this one lifetime already. Because you give it away so easily and naturally, don't you? It's second nature to you. It's who you are. You don't question being a caregiver. You just give that love away. I know you do. I can feel that about you. And because of that, I have to tell you, love, don't worry. First of all, I'm getting from my guides that your tribe is coming. So first of all, stay connected to me, because I have a feeling I'm very much a part of that tribe, and people like us, we're soul sisters, and we have to stick together because our love isn't for everybody, you know? That one I will tell you, your love, it's not for everybody, but that's okay, because when you give it to the people that deserve it from you, you give it so fully, and you realize that you heal through your love. I don't know if you know that, but you do. You heal through your love. And I also want you to know that because she's here, and I have to tell you that she's here for you, there's very much an archangel presence. Her name is Ariel. I feel so much love for you right now. I just want you to know that there is an archangel with you, and her name is Ariel. I've worked with her many times, and she comes around for me a lot. She tends to come especially for women like you who are all pure heart. So I want you to know she comes and surrounds you with a lot of love all the time. She is very much someone who is all about self-love, self-care, nurturing, and support. So she comes and brings that love and support around you. So I want you to know, don't feel worried or scared to call upon an archangel. They can be ever present, right? So there could be a million people on the planet Earth asking for her support right now, praying to her, and she can be all of those places at one time. That's one of the many gifts that archangels have, and one of the many gifts of them being in not confined to this physical earth plane, because they can be in more places than one at once. So please don't feel like you can't ever call for her. I feel her very strongly with you, but I want you to know that I share that experience in my lifetime too. I know what it feels like to give all your love and your sincerity and your generosity, and to have it be accepted, and then all of a sudden to get that feeling like, I think they don't either they don't like me anymore, or they don't want me around anymore, or you feel that resistance, that love being pushed back, or you just feel that lack of reciprocity, right? You can feel that you're giving the love, but you can feel that it's not being returned to you. And I just want you to know that it will not be this way forever. Your tribe is on its way. I know, I feel you. I have a soul to soul connection with you right now. It's not an easy way to move through the earth plane, but I have to tell you, for as much as what we have is a blessing, it can feel like a curse sometimes, right? Because you do everything with your heart. And I really feel that about you. So I'm going to just send you so much healing energy right now, and so much genuine love. And I just want you to know that I feel your love in everything you do. And I never want you to let it die. I want you to let it grow stronger. There were many times on my journey when I allowed those other people around me to make me tune it down, make me feel like I had to hold, bottle it up, go inside my turtle shell, push everything and everyone away. And I want to tell you not to let them make you feel like you have to do that too. You keep giving with all your heart and soul, and you call out to the universe, because it's no coincidence that you're right here with me in this space right now. I promise you that the right people, the ones who will see you the way I see you right now, because I don't need to see your face to see you, because I see you very clearly. There are other people out there like me that are going to see you. And I just want you to remember this moment, because you will know when they see you, and you will feel that in your heart energy. So I kind of want you to imagine your heart like a tuning fork energy. I'm just going to give you a little bit of healing around this, so you have some things to help yourself. But imagine your energy your heart energy like a tuning fork. I do the same thing, and I learned this actually from one of my spiritual teachers who I love. You're so welcome, love. I want you to know I love you, I see you, and I promise you that others see you too. But the thing is, not everyone on their healing journey is ready for that kind of love. Not everyone is. But I promise you that there are people who are, people just like you and I, who want that love, who crave it, who need it, who are searching for it just like you and I are, who are searching for the people to give it to, for the people that can be their tribe, their soul friends, for the healers, for the practitioners. So, whatever your profession is, there are the people that will see you. And when they do, they will instantly recognize the divine and sacred unconditional love that pours out of you so genuinely and naturally. And just please know that's a gift that doesn't come around to just everybody. So hold that near and dear to your heart. But I want you to imagine that heart energy like a tuning fork. And any time that things start to feel negative or that love starts to feel like it's being not returned, come back to your tuning fork energy and remind yourself that right here in this space, that's all that matters. That's where your purpose lies. That's who you are. And tune that other energy out. Okay? I love you so dearly. Now I want to, so this is just a perfect example. Everything we're talking about here, how many levels and layers there are to healing. Healing is all about love. And part of the reason I'm here is to really merge science and spirit, physical and energetic, the traditional with the holistic, and to do it through love, because that's why my practice, you may not, in case any of you don't know, my practice is called Healthy Transformations with Heart. And the reason it is because everything I do with my heart, and I know that you do too. And I promise you, my friend, so many women that are going to watch this now and into the future, whether it's here, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, wherever they are, they're going to listen to this conversation and they're going to think about you and they're going to think about us and they're going to think, that's where I belong. That's the love I've been looking for. I want to be around the people and the women that see me too. And you will know that heart connection just like you and I have it right now when you see it. But you see, my friends, and to all of you listening now and into the future, the healing I went through earlier this week to heal myself from this past life, that I had come into this lifetime born as a little baby, into this lifetime believing that I didn't deserve that love. And that, was part of what has been a barrier for me for all these years. And just like that, I've released it. But you know what I know at that point? What I know that means is that my healing journey still is not complete. It means that I accomplished another level and layer of my healing, and now that will facilitate the next layer that's going to reveal itself, that I'm going to, with strength, heal from myself again. And this is the type of healing that I bring to all of you and my clients, to facilitate this healing across all levels, layers, and dimensions for you. But rather than it being a 15-year-long journey, my goal is to bring you into this container and safe, sacred healing space with me so that we can facilitate that happening in a much shorter and condensed time frame, because I really hope I can collapse time for all of you and help save you years that I only wish I could have saved on my own healing journey. So I just want you to see through my own lived experience, and I'll share many more of my own stories. I'll share those of more about my clients and things that we're working and helping them heal through right now. But I just want you to see an example by hearing my story in brief and then sharing this more recent detailed story with you from earlier this week. I wanted you to hear that story so that you could see, oh wow, even Dr. Elizabeth has been through all these traumatic experiences and she healed herself from them, but geez, then she still has more work to do, and I will always have more work to do, because I know that the more I heal myself and the further I go, all it can help me do is support all of you more and help all of you more. So I want you to know that I am like the queen of the islands of misfit toys. I have been, so if you're out there feeling like you live on that island too, like you've been the square peg in the round hole, like you've been ostracized in any way, shape, or form from any system, group, or structure in this lifetime, I want you to know you're not alone and I'm here for you. That's what I'm here to do, is to be here with all of you, to collect you all onto this island so that together we can move forward and facilitate those healings for you. This is what healing's all about. And I want you to know, if you're out there feeling any of these things, like you live on that island of misfit toys, like you're a square peg in a round hole, like you're experiencing physical, mental, or emotional health issues that continue to perpetuate that, and that you know that even though you've got these physical health issues, that there's some other emotional components going on, but that no matter where you seem to go, and whoever you talk to, or whatever practitioner or healer, that they just don't seem to get it. I want you to know that I'm here for you. And it's all about the environment, right? And here, working with me in a safe, sacred healing space, in an environment where you are supported and unconditionally loved, with my devotional support, to be guided, to heal yourself, to reclaim all that's been taken from you. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you put the pieces of your puzzle together, identify the root causes of what's really got you stuck in the place you're in and why you can't move that needle forward. Because maybe part of it is physical root causes. And sure, we all have physical root causes. We've all got toxins and pathogens. No human is immune to that, right? So we all have work to do on that physical level, but that's just not all there is to it. So maybe there's some energy in your field that needs to be removed, that's been standing in your way, that you just haven't been able to recognize yet. Or maybe there's some emotional stuff going on, and maybe those emotions are tied to a trauma from this life or from another life that just needs to be healed. Or maybe it's something going on in a social environment, in a relationship. Maybe you're lacking the support. Maybe it's something in the environment. So there are all these levels and layers to our healing, and my work, my passion, my purpose is just to walk this path with you, to identify all those root causes for you and with you, right? Because I don't just close my eyes and magically say, oh, it's this, it's X, Y, and Z that's standing in your way. It's in us and our connection, and my ability to connect with you heart to heart, soul to soul, and to call in our divine source energies, both yours and mine, because all of that innate intelligence, it lives in you. And so it's my job to help you reveal what is it exactly that's got you stuck. How can exactly we get you moving forward? And even at that stage and phase, the healing journey will still ebb and flow, but you will be healing. And it's all about intention, and I want you to know that I'm here with the sincerest intentions to guide you on that path, to stand strong at the intersection of science and spiritualism, to serve as the bridge for you between mainstream and holistic medicine and healing. And it is with all the honor in the world that I do that for all of you. I have so much more to tell you all. I have so much more to talk to you about, but I have no idea how long I've been talking, and I have a feeling that it's been quite a while, and my guides are telling me I should wrap it up. So that's what I'm going to do for today. But I hope that this story empowers you. If it brings anything up in you, please comment here. Send me a DM. Send me a Facebook message. Put a comment in YouTube. I will receive them, and I will be able to connect with you and help you figure out, what's exactly standing in your way so we can get you onto the other side of it. I want you all to know that you are so surrounded by love and healing energy and support right now. Not just from me, but from your own divine source energy. It's with all the honor and love in the world that I do this work and guide you and support you. I'm sending you all so much love and so much healing energy today. I can't wait to talk soon.